Welcome back and thank you for all. Next session will be presented by Mr. Fahid. He Microsoft MVP and Microsoft Certified Trainer and Solution Architect, and he will talk about how to integrate Power Automate with Power BI. I believe it will be very helpful session as usual. So here we go, bro.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? Not. Hello.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
perfect.
we can hear you, bro.
Okay, good. Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen and thanks for joining us. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you. It's 10 p.m. here in Sydney, Australia, and it should be around 2 p.m. in Saudi Arabia, if I be correct. So today I want to talk about the Power BI and Power Automate integrations. We will review some great scenarios with each other. So both of those solutions are part of the Power Platform, Microsoft Power Platform, and it's very good to be able to integrate those two to each other because you can find many good scenarios and many good answers to many questions by integrating these two to each other. So let me just go to the next slide, tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Vahid Dostimaj. I'm living in Australia, in Sydney, Australia. I'm originally from Iran. I'm Persian. I'm a Microsoft Data Power Platform MVP and Microsoft Certified Trainer. I'm a project management consultant. I worked for more than 13 years in the project manager area, but I made the big decisions and then moved to the data world, and I'm working as a data integration and analytics manager in one of the biggest construction company in Australia. So still in the data, it's still in the construction area, but with different hat, not the hard hat, this time with the soft hat, and then working with computer and data. I'm a Microsoft certified data analyst. It means I passed that PL300 exam, and I'm super user in Power BI community. If you don't know where is the Power BI community, if you search for on the net, you can find that. It's one of the most active community in the Microsoft side. So every time if you go to that website, you can find more than 2,000 people are active there. If you have any questions, you can go there and ask that, and I really highly recommend you to be active in that community if you wanna improve your knowledge. That was like a school for me, and I spent if I have a free time, I will spend my time. I spend my time in there to improve my knowledge and refresh some of my knowledge as well. So I'm industrial engineer. If you split people in the data analytic to two sides, one from the SQL, one from the Excel. I'm from the Excel side, but then I improve my knowledge about the database, SQL, and everything. I have a web blog. I'm blogger and learner, so each month I post one or two weblogs, and I'm a leader of the Persian Power BI user group, which is one of the user group in the Microsoft Power Platform. And I know how hard it is to hold this type of the boot camps, conferences, and events, even online. So I want to say thank you to Mohammed and all the teams which organize this conference and this event and give us this opportunity to gather as a community and improve our knowledge. Thank you, guys. So today I don't have that much slides. My session will be fully demos, and I will tell you how to create a live report with the Microsoft Forms data. I will show you how to create a form, and then how to integrate the Power using the Power Automate to connect that form to one streaming live data set to have a live dashboard based on the answers or data people will submit on that form, which will be really useful in many cases. And then after that, I will show you how to send data from Power BI report to your email and Teams with one click. Yeah, I will show you how to give this option to end user to be able to add a button there and there. And then if you want to receive some data from there, you can click on that button and they will receive data as attachment in the email or as a message on Microsoft Teams. And then at the end, I will show you how to execute DAX queries against the existing data set, how to run that based on the to set schedule that to run twice a day, on a certain time of the day, or even weekly or monthly. And then during those three items, I will show you how to manage the flows output, how to send the email, how to send the message on the Microsoft Teams, how to create the CSV file, how to share that CSV file. And then at the end, we can have question and answer for 5 or 2 minutes. And you can ask me whatever question you have, and I will do my best to answer that one during my session. Between those three items, if you have any questions, I will ask you. If you have any question at the end of, for example, the Microsoft Forms, you can ask it there, or even send that in the chat box. I will do my best to have eyes on the chat box and answer the question. So that was the last slide. I told you everything demo in this session. So let's start. So what we want to do, what I want to show you is how to create a form and then connect that to the Microsoft Power BI by using the Power Automate. Here I created a form, which is a very small, simple form, as you can see on the screen. So I added 3 questions here, which one of them is, what's your name? The second one, which country would you like to travel to? And the last one is, do you like this topic and presentation? So I want to connect that to Power BI to create a report, live report. So if I want to do that, I can create the flow on Power Automate and connect that to Excel sheet and the SharePoint, and then connect my report to Excel sheet. Or if I have a SQL, I can connect that to my SQL database. But I want to using the streaming data set. If in this, as you can see on the screen, I opened the demo workspace in my Power BI service, and I want to create one streaming data set, which is here, the data set, streaming data set at the end of this list. If I click on the new, when I click on that one, there are 3 items or 3 options for me. I will select the API and click on next. Then it will ask me to add a name to this data set. So I will add that, okay, say bootcamp, and then I need to add the columns and the type of the columns. So streaming data set is a live data set, which so there are let me just tell you a little bit more about the streaming data set. If you created a streaming data set, there is no database behind the scene, and there is very small amount of the cache assigned to this streaming data set to keep the data for 1 or 2 seconds. So it's good if you want to connect that, for example, to IoT, Internet of Things. For example, if you have a fridge and there is one IoT on that to send the temperature of the fridge every second. So you can connect that to the streaming data set to get those data and show the live data for you. But if you want to keep the data and assign the database to that one, you always need to turn on the historic data analyst. When you turn this on, that will make a hybrid data set, which is part of the streaming data set, but on the other hand is a little bit push data set. So it's a mix of the push data set and the streaming data set. So there is a database there, and then you can keep the history on there. And same as all the data sets and the databases, when you want to create that, you need to define the columns and define the type of the data you want to keep in that columns. So in my form, I have 3 questions. So I need to keep each of them in different column. So I need 3 columns. First is name and that text. The second one is a country name. And that's again text. And the last is the rate, which is the number. And when I type them, that will write this code here, which is like a JSON code here for me. And then I need to make sure the historic data analysis is on. Otherwise, if you submit something, that will be like a streaming data set, so no database behind the scene. There is a small amount of the cache there, so your data will be there for 1 or 2 seconds. So turn this on and then hit create. So that will create one data set for me, done, and there is a data set here with this icon, which means this is the streaming data set. Okay, I have a form, I have a data set, I need to connect them to each other. So go to the Microsoft Power Automate there. Let me just turn on my zoom it. Okay, here I will click on the instant Cloudflow here to create a new one, and not the instant one, sorry, the automated Cloudflow here. And then you can see here, I need the first question is to add the name to this flow. I will add the KSI bootcamp here, and then at the top, you can see the first item here is when a new response is submitted, which is the item I'm looking for as a trigger. So if you want to create a flow, you need to make sure in the structure of the flow, we have 2 parts. The first part is a trigger, and the other parts are other items is in the action part of the structure. Trigger means when that flow needs to be run, what will happen, or what in what condition that flow need to be run. In this scenario, I want to add this as a trigger when a new response is submitted in this form which I created here. So I will click on this one and then create. So when I hit that create, that will show me a list here when I trigger, and then I can pick form ID. If I click on this one, I can see the name of all forms that I have here. If I back to form, the main page of the Microsoft form, then I can see there are 7 forms here. One of them is this one, and I want to connect that to this, which I created for this session. So I can see and find that here, select that one, and then I need to add the actions there. Click new stop. Again, I will search for the form, and there is Microsoft form. It's easy because there is only one action here to get the response from the details. When someone submit their details, submit their request, submit their information or data, or answer those questions, then I want to get the data from that form, and then the response ID will be the response ID here. So that will get the information from there. Now I got the data which have been submitted in there, and then I want to just map that to the data set which I created. So here I will again search for add a row to data set, which is one. If I go to the Power BI section, there is one active action for the Power BI, which is the add the rows to a data set. I have a data set, I want to add a row there. So I click on that one. Then I need to select my workspace. So I have 4 workspaces here. So if I go there, I can see all 4 workspaces plus my workspace. So I will select the demo, and then I can see the data set which I created before. And then there is a name of the table. If you want to use the streaming data set, the name of the table, because there is only one table behind the scene, the name of the table is always real-time data. So there is only one option, and we will select that one. When I select that one, there are 3 items then. Those 3 items are the columns which we created for our table. So now I need to map the data from here to here. So, okay, so now click on the name, and then I can see the questions which I have here on my form there. So what is your name? The answer to this question need to be saved to name. So I will map them to each other. The country will be which country would you like to travel, and the rate will be do you like this topic and presentation. So the flow is done. It's created. Save it. So okay, so I saved that one. Before I test that one, I want to create a report based on this data set. Click on this one, create a report. And then when I click on the report, you can see here, there is the table name is the real-time data. And I told you there is only one item. And then I can see the column name. So I will create a very simple table here with the name, then the country, and then the rate, and I will set the rate aggregation to average. So that's done. There is nothing here under there. And then I will add the map here with the country in the location, and then the country or the name, bubble size, the name, count of bob. So there is nothing on the map. There is nothing in the table, but as soon as I hit the information there and so let's save this one, KSA bootcamp, save it. So I want to test this one now. So I will back to, I back to form, go to preview, and then add this one, the hit, and then which country I would like to say, Iran, for example, and then I need to give the number to myself. So not 5, 4, it's okay. Submit that one. When I hit that one, let's back to here. So you can see 5 seconds ago, when I submit the form, something successfully done here. So if I click on that one, I can see which information go through. So here went through, so I can see the name, Wahid, Iran, and 4 have been moved and added a row with those data to that data set. So if I hit the refresh here, those information will be appeared on my system. So now we create a flow which connected this form directly to our report. So then we can go to the report section, add some information here to be refreshed, page refresh every say 30 seconds or every 1 minute or 2 hours, every 2 hours. This information you will be limited to 1 time, for example, 1 hours. It depends on what admin set in your tenant. So they need to change that too. If you want to change this page refresh to 1 minute, they need to change that for whole tenant. Then you will be able to do that. So then you can set the page refresh, and that will be refreshed every time, and you will have a live dashboard then. So now I want to ask you to do one thing. So here there is a link to that form which I created. I will share that in the chat box, and then there is a QR code there. So you can take out your, just take out your phone, scan that code, and just submit your information, and then we can test that flow with each other. I will send a link here in the chat box, so feel free to go there, just scan the code, and then or use the link which I sent in the chat box and submit your information. Use that form, submit your information, and then we will check here to see your data. Let me save this one. The reading view and refresh this one. Oh, 3 people added those information super fast. Good one. So here, refresh that one. People are adding that one. That's good. That works. So I want to move to the next item of the agenda. If you have any question, please feel free to ask it now if it's related to this item. Otherwise, we can move to the next items. Any question? Okay, nothing. Let's move to the next one. At the end, I will back to this report to see what are the answers here. Okay, so I created a very simple report here on my Power BI service, which is the very simple report which connected to that Excel file, dummy Excel file, sample of the data Excel file on the Power BI documentation. You can download that and use that one. So I have a user, and the user called me and said, look, wait, I always click on this one and export data to have to be able to export this data in Excel, or be able to export them and then copy paste them and insert them inside that body of the email and send that to my manager. Is it possible to add a button here and then give me this option to hit that one, to press on that one and receive the data on Microsoft Teams? I said, well, yes, it's possible. Let me work on it. So yes, it's possible. So now I want to do that and show that how you can do this. We have this table, and I want to show you how to create a button to give this option to end user to hit that button and receive the data on Microsoft Teams or as an email. So let me just add this. I want to use this item, which is here. And you can see this is Power Automate for Power BI, which is one of the default visuals for Power BI. So I will click on that one, and that will open this big pop up this page with some information. Let's say what it shows to us. It said, okay, add the data to here, which is here, to this box here, and then set up your flow and apply and share. So okay, let's follow that. So here on my table, I have some information: year, country, sales, discount, profit, and I want to create the same table. So click on this one, and we'll add the information there. So first of all, I need the year here, then the country, then sales, then discount, and then the profit. So I added the data there. Then I can click on edit to create a flow for that. But when I hit the edit button, that will open the Power Automate page here inside the Power BI. So I can click on new and create the instant cloud flow. When I click on that one, there is a trigger there. The trigger is Power BI button click. So you don't need to add any trigger here. So whenever you click on that button, the trigger will be started. The trigger will be started, and then the flow will be started and will be done. So the first step here is to get the information from those items which we added here. So okay, so I will go to operation here. We will use the operation more than the other items here. So we will use most of these items today. So first of all, I will use the select. In select, I will say, okay, so Power BI data from Power BI data, and then again, I need to do the mapping. So first is the year from the Power BI data year, which is the name of this column I added here. So we select the year, and then country. And then the country here, where is the country? Okay, and then size, and the size here, discount, mapping to discount, the profit, which will be the profit. Okay, I'm mapping those information to each other, and then I wanna add. I have those data. I wanna send them in the Microsoft Teams. The person said, okay, I want to receive that in Microsoft Teams or as a body of the as a table in the body of the email. I said, okay, let's do the Teams one. I select the Teams, and then there is item here, post the message in chat or channel. I will select on that one. The first item here, post as a flow bot. I will select that one. When you are using the Microsoft Teams, there is a one bot behind the scene, and that bot has been created and it's always there, and that's a Power Automate bot. You don't need to create that one, it's always there. You need to just use that. So flow bot means the Power Automate bot. So okay, post as the Power Automate bot, post in the chat with the flow bot, and then if I go to my Teams, there is nothing here, but I will receive a message from the Power Automate bot. So here, who will receive that those information? So imagine we have many users, and we want to give this information to them, to those end users, to see, okay, if you hit that button, you will receive that. So that need to be dynamic, not just adding the email name here. So there is an option here, user email. So that's good. I will select the user email, and each if anybody hit that button or click on that button, that person will receive the data. And in the message, the output of the select should be here. But let me do one thing. Okay. Oh yeah. Before the message, we create the select, but we want to create a table. So I now mapping those information to each other. I need to create a table at that one. So here in operation again, there is one item, create a HTML table. I will select that one, and then say, okay, the output of the select go there, and from those data from here, create a table. And then now I can add the output of the HTML table here. So that will create a table, and that will send that in the Microsoft Teams. Let's save this one. And when I save that one, I can click on this one to say bootcamp, add the name for that one, and then I can click and save and apply. When I give that green light, that's done. Back to report, and now the shape of this changed, and I can make that smaller to make it like a button. I can change the text here, button text, to say the click to receive data. Or even I can change the color here to be, for example, like this one. So you can customize that one. Okay, I added that one. Now I have this data. Let's click on this one and the Power Automate. So I want to go and check the is that successful or not. Here, if this one, it's failed, and that's because of the Microsoft Teams. Not sure why, but these days it fails. But I can do one thing and then solve that one. So let's first do the power the email one, and then back to the Teams. So yeah, something that happens. So here, go back to edit one. And then I want to change that one. First, I want to show you the email one, and then I will add the Teams one, and that will be fixed. So that's happened last week when I presented to another group. So here in the edit, I will remove that. Yeah, I will remove this one, and I will add another option, which is the send email. When I add a send email here, there are two options for me: send an email notification version 3 and send an email version 2. The difference between them is send an email with notification version 3, you will receive the data from the default email address which assigned for the Power Platform. And there are some limitations there. You can't receive more than 100 emails per day, or you can't set to receive more than 5 emails per hour, if I remember that correctly. But if you select an email version 2, that's easy because it will use your email to send that email to you. So again, who will receive that email? Select here and select the user with email address of the user who press on that button. The subject will be a sample of data or the export of the table, and then I can add the timestamp to be specific, and then in the body I can add please see the table below, for example, below, and then add the output of the HTML table here, save and apply. Hit the green light back here, and then hit that again, back to report here to see I will receive that email or not. Yeah, let's test that one. It's still lining, and that's successfully done, and I will receive an email soon. Yeah, I received that email, and you can see the information are there for five columns, but it's not like the information I have here. Some information in years are different, and that's because the aggregation of the years is in sum. We need to make sure it's sensitive to the aggregation here. So if I select the don't summarize that and hit that again, then I will receive another email with the correct format and correct numbers here. So here, 2013, Canada says 5.17 million, same as the data here. Even if the user set some filters here, for example, select this one and set some filters on the table and click this one, that person will receive the filtered data. So it's very good because that will give this option to end user to select what data he or she wants to see on the table and then receive that in the body of the table. So again, when I done this one, end user call me and say, look, it's like a table, but it's very hard to read this information. Can we format that? Can we add some formatting here, some borders and colors there? I said yes, because we created the HTML table. So with CSS code, we would be able to add the format there. So I will add action here. Actually, I don't want to use the Power Automate. I want to use everything here today. So, so here I click on the edit and then click on edit, and then I want to add another step to format the output of the HTML table and using the CSS code to format that one. So because it's the HTML. So here I will add another action and then say, okay, operation again. Here there is a compose. I will use that one, and I have this codes here, which is the CSS code. If you search on the net, you can find that how to format the table there. So you can change the color of the background, you can change the font size and everything. So I want to style that one. And then at the end, I need to add the create HTML table to style the output of the create HTML. Then I will change this one. This time I will add the output of compose when after I apply that formatting on the table. So back to the report again, let's remove the filter, and then this time click on this and see what will be here. Okay, I receive another email. This time is formatted. So header here, different color, different font color, and there are some borders there. So it's better. So now it's much more easier to be read by people. So it's easy to read now. So then that person again called me and said, okay, look, that's good. That's really good. I can see the information there, but can I have those information as an attachment here as a CSV file? Then I will be able to save that, and I will be able to send that to my manager. And I said, yeah, I can do that, because there is one option, an action there, which I can create a CSV file and then attach that to the body of the email. So here again, I back the case to my flow, and then I want to add another action before creating the email. So here I will add an action here, and then an operation again. And inside the operation, there is item for creating the CSV table. But when I want to set map the data here to create the data, to create a CSV file, I don't want to use the create the HTML table or compose, because those data, after applying those two actions, the data are in different shape. So I want to use the select one when the data have not been shaped yet. So then I can create a CSV file, and I need to add the attachment here. I add the show the advanced option here, and then there is an attachment box here. So attachment content will be the output of the CSV table, and I need to add the name. This part is very important. Whenever you're using the attachment, you need to make sure to add the table export, and then you need to make sure to add the prefix of the file. So here is a CSV. If I add the PDF, that will create a PDF for me, but without any content, because the output of here is not PDF. So make sure to add the name with the correct format for that attachment. So now it's done. Save and apply. And then back to my report, and then let's hit this again to see what I will receive here. Okay, this time takes a little bit time. Let's check it's successful or not. It's successful, so I will receive an email, because now there is an attachment, so it might take some time. Okay, 5 seconds ago. Yeah, I received the email now, table in the body, but there is a file here with the name I selected for that one, which is CSV. When I click on that one, inside that, there is a table, again, with the Excel format, and then those data same as here. So then they can manage the CSV file, the CSV file in the way they can. They can even save that CSV file in the SharePoint, because there is an action for that one. So now we manage that by the email. Let's try that again with the Teams. And previous time when I checked that, it worked well. So hopefully this time it will work as well. So let's add it here. So again, edit that one. So I want to add another action here, but as a parallel branch. So when you send the email, send the Teams message as well. So create the Teams, and here the again post in a chat channel. Flowbot is okay. Chat with the Flowbot is okay, and then who will receive that one? The email address of the person. Press the button, and the body of that will be output of the HTML. So okay. So click and save, and then back to the report to save that. So trigger that one again, back to here to see it's triggered. It triggered. Still, yeah, it's failed. 100% is because of that, because I received the email, but I didn't receive the Teams one. Not sure why it's happened. Should be an issue, or maybe great because there is no other things. It should work. But with this setup in your maybe in your area, because it's different than my area. I mean, the Australia also is different than there. So not sure why I don't receive that one. So should be, if I select, let me check that maybe because of Flowbot. Post as a user, post in the chat. Chat with the group chat, the custom value to channel. I don't have a channel there to add it there, so I need to use the Power Flow. Next time maybe I can select the chat, but that one works maybe. So yeah, that doesn't work here. User email address, message. Oh, actually I can do one thing. Maybe I can do add my email as a static to make sure this works or not. Using the Gmail address you use here is 81, yeah. So let me use this email address, and then we can test that again. If it works, that would be great. Otherwise, we can go to the next item. So triggered again. Let's see what's happened. Again failed, but I received an email, but nothing in the Teams from the Flowbot. Here, Power Automate. There is a bot here, and I need to receive a chat, receive data from here, but that doesn't work. And the error is that's okay. No user is okay. Is it with email? It's max. Anyway, that's happened the last time when I changed that one. It worked very well, but this time it doesn't work. But it will work with that setup. Maybe it's a glitch in my system or maybe area. Yeah, okay. So is there, I want to move to the next section, which is running the DAX query against the data set. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we can move to the other section. Any questions?
Any question, guys? Any question, guys?
Okay, good.
All is good, bro.
Okay, all good, mate. So here, reviewing option, let's back to here. Let's have a look to this report to see how many people added the information here. Oh, that's nice. We received many info here. So here, the average is 461. Thank you, guys. And then which country? Most of the people want to travel to Egypt. That's a nice place to travel. Okay, we'll back to this one at the end of this session. If you didn't submit your information, your request, yeah, I send the link in the chat box. Find that one, just put your answers there. Okay, I created these options for that end user, but the end user said, okay, now you give me this option. You added this this button here. I can click on that one, and I will receive the information here on an email address. But I just every time I need to go inside the report and click on that one. Is it possible to receive a data without clicking on that one? I want to receive those data every day at 8 a.m. or now 9 a.m. without clicking on any button. And I said, yes, you can do that because we can create a query, Redux query to create the same table, and then attach that to the email, and then that you will receive that one. So next, and then when a person asked me to create that one, I opened the Power Automate one, Power BI desktop, and I said, okay, if you don't know, and I was thinking how to create the DAX for this one. If you don't know the DAX, how to write the DAX to create a table like this, it's easy to find that. You just need to go to View, run the Performance Analyzer, and start recording, and just hit the refresh, select this table, and then, just hit the refresh the visuals, and then there is a table here. And if you copy the query here, that will give you the DAX query, which can create this same table with that DAX. I just opened the DAX Studio to run that query. So I copied that one and I just paste that one. Just hit the copy and paste it here. And if I run that one, that will show me the same table with one line here. And this line, which is the is grand total row, is the output, is this row, which is the total row. So it's easy. If you don't know how to write the DAX to create the same table, you just need to run the performance analyzer and copy the DAX here. So I have a DAX which I need to run. So let's back to Power Automate and create another flow. So this time I want to use this scheduled cloud flow because that person want to receive that data, those data every day, start every day at 7 a.m. For example, let's say 8 a.m. every day. So they repeat that one and create that one. That will give us this trigger, and then in this trigger, the interval once a day, and then we can say, okay, which time what time we will receive that, what is the time zone, whatever. We can define those information to run that on that time. So okay, and the next step is to run a query against the data set. So here we have the option run a query against the data set. We can run the DAX query there. This is the new, this action has been added to the Power Automate run since 1 year ago. Before that, if you wanted to run a query or DAX query against the data set, you had to use the Power BI, Power API, REST API of the Power BI, and then use the HTTP action, which is the HTTP action. The Power Automate is the premium one, so you need to have a license for that one, not with the free license. But now it's very easy. So I just need to click my workspace, which is the demo one. My workspace is demo, which is the name of this report demo in the workspace demo, both demo, and then I just need to paste that query. So now let's test it first before we check that one, and to manage the output, just test it and run it to see what is the output there. So if I run that one and open this one, and the output is correct, because for Canada 2013, the number is 5,000,000.17, same as here. So it's very easy. Now, again, it's very easy to create a table. Let's have a step, same items which we done before. So HTML table to create a table. Again, here, the output of this one will be the first row here, and that will create create a table for us. Let's test it again. And then you can add the other items, same as before, to like send the email, send that. See, there is a table now with those information. And then the next step, let's try to send a message here with Microsoft. Let's give it another shot. So pass the message again, Flowbot, chat with the Flowbot. And then because there is no item for email, I need to make that automatically a static one, because we don't want to give this option to anybody to hit the button and then that person receive that. We have a list of the people which need to receive those data. So let's test it to see that works here or not. Okay, save and test. Run, done, and that's failed. Not sure why that's failed, but yeah, sometimes happen. But we can, and I manage that one again to receive email here, and then send the email like this. Send it, not delete email. Send the email. New step, email. And then send the email. Where is the send the email version 2? Yeah, here. And then to Wahid, if I select that one, select my email, press here, subject test, and then the body of that will be output of this. So again, so now with the date, I set that one every day at that time, specific time at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. That flow will be run, and then we'll run, and then we'll run this query, this DAX query against the data set, and we'll send those data as a body of the image here. We can create a CSV file again, or we can even manage the DAX code, write it by ourselves. For example, we can say, okay, if we have any other measure here, we can create that measure, any DAX code which can be applied here. We can use that one to here to create a report and then manage that to send that information to end user or to the group of people. So in this scenario, no one need to hit any button. They will receive that automatically. So I think I covered all the items. If you have any questions now, that's the QA section. So more than happy to know that, and will do my best to answer your question.